All right, guys, welcome back to the workshop. I know it's been a while since I had any updates. Trust me, I have plenty of updates. I've been very busy. I just haven't had the time to get it straightened out. So hopefully look out for in the next week or so some updates on my Polini bike, new build on that, the new AM6 Max cases. I got the first prototype of that in, some updates to the ignition, etc. For now, I did want to focus on this right here, which is the adjustable Thunder Racing Powerjet I'm offering, both as a service and installed on a brand new carb. I got a few questions about it, so I just want to address a few things, explain how I'd go about tuning them, what the benefit is, and what they are. Now, as always, to be blunt, I'm going to be honest with everybody, you're not going to get more peak power from an adjustable Powerjet. Anybody that tells you that is lying. A properly tuned carb at peak is a properly tuned carb at peak. This isn't going to give you more peak power. What it can give you is better throttle response and some more power through the mid-range by adding an extra fueling circuit and letting you lean out that mid-range without sacrificing the top end. So first of all, what is a Powerjet? You've seen them probably in the past. They have a really bad reputation on the clone carburetors, the generic eBay OKO carbs and stuff like that. They have built-in ones. Those are totally different. Those have a fixed orifice, non-adjustable. You can't tweak them, you can't change when they hit, and you can't change how much fuel they add without drilling and soldering. The replacement jets are unobtainable for them. I tried them in the past, ended up plugging it, terrible. What the Thunder adjustable Powerjet is a needle valve seated in here with a knob that turns from 0 to 5 turns that can add a significant amount of additional fueling while letting you go smaller on your main jet for better throttle response and a stronger mid-range. You can adjust them in two types of ways. Obviously, you have the knob up here that controls how much fuel gets added in addition to your main jet. And you have this guy here, this protruding piece. The height of this affects when it starts adding fuel. So you can set it to add fuel later in your throttle position and RPM range, and you can set more or less fuel to be added, which gives you a ton of adjustability. Optionally, you can get this guy right here, the deep bowl nut. This is always recommended because it keeps your Powerjet from fighting fuel from your main jet. Like, they won't be near each other, so it's got its own dedicated fuel source. Thunder Racing also includes a one-way check valve, which kind of preloads the Powerjet. You won't have to bring fuel from down here all the way up here every time you hit the throttle. It'll go up here, stop, and it won't drain back down once it passes this valve. So you'll always have fuel easily and quickly available to it. So that's what it is. Why you would want one, like I said, it gives you a stronger mid-range and better throttle response. Not typically, but sometimes you may end up in a situation where your main jet is spot on, your mid-range is still fat, still a little rich, you're not optimized for power. Now you can play with needle tapers, needle height, you got 4 adjustments on the notch on that. You can mess with slide cutouts, all of that, but none of that is going to be as good as adding an extra fueling circuit. Extra fueling circuit gives you more tunability, so now you can play with your pilot jet, your slide cutout, your needle height, your needle taper, your main jet, which now is only responsible for a smaller RPM range, and then your Powerjet on the top end. So how do I offer them? Basically, you can have it as an addition to your existing carburetor, where I'll strip your carb down, clean it, get everything back to factory spec, drill it, tap it. It doesn't come drilled and tapped on the deep bowl nut or the top, so that's something that I got to do on there. Get it set up, angled, whether you have a left side, right side mount, and then you're good to go. Now, to tune these guys, again, I don't know why tuning becomes such a difficult subject for some people. Guys, seriously, stop overcomplicating it. Like, set every jet high to where it 4 strokes and then go down to the stops. Like, it's easy. People chase their tails, trying random jets, trying to find out what other people are using. Don't do that. What I recommend, close this guy fully. This little rubber sleeve is to keep it from vibrating loose or changing settings. So you're going to want to turn that fully to the right clockwise, close it. Once it's closed, this guy's fully disabled. Tune your carb like normal to where your main jet is where you want it. I like to do 1 to 2 jets below 4 stroking when the bike is fully warmed up. Not going to be the most power, but it's going to be safe and easy. Once you have that, you're going to take your main jet, multiply by 0.8 to reduce its size by 20%. If you got 100 main jet, you're going to swap it to an 80. Then, before you run it with that smaller main jet, you're going to open this guy. I think the maximum turns is 5 out. You're going to want to put it 4 turns out. Again, you want to force it to 4-stroke. Your bike's going to pull like normal, even harder through the mid-range on the smaller main jet. Once the power jet hits, it's going to 4-stroke and be rich. Then you're just going to want to close this half a turn or so at a time until you stop 4-stroking. Boom. Tune it like normal, 20% smaller, force it to be rich, and then close this jet, the adjustable power jet, so it stops being rich. And now you're optimized. Smaller main jet, again, is going to be quicker throttle response, leaner, especially if you're running a big carb on a small engine. You run into that issue with Piaggios. They're very high RPM. They're going to want a bigger carb, a 21, 23, 24 millimeter if you have a hot setup, but it's still just a 70 cc. So it's not going to want all that carb low in the RPM range through your mid-range. Something like this, you can keep that main jet small, not lose so much low to mid-range, make up for it on the top on there. But any questions, like always, feel free to hit me up on the forums or the groups. Well, not really the forums because I'm not on any of them anymore, but any of the Facebook groups, Zeta Mafia, RDM Performance, all of those things, you'll find me on there. Or feel free to email me right at puck@pucksperformance.com, and I'll get you situated. But yeah, pretty cool. This is something I run on my Polini bike, and I just like the setup. Small little engines could use all the mid-range we can get. But thank you. Be on the lookout for some updates in the near future. And that's all. Talk to you later.